Some people don't stay quiet because they're shy. They stay quiet because they've seen too much. They noticed who only talks to them when they need something, who secretly competes with them, who smiles, while waiting for them to fail. And after a while, silence becomes safer than explaining yourself. Because the more people talk, the more they reveal. But quiet people, they watch. And that makes people uncomfortable. You've probably felt this before. Someone in the room barely says anything, but somehow everybody keeps looking at them. That's not confidence. That's psychological tension. Because human brains hate uncertainty. When someone talks too much, you can predict them, their emotions, their insecurities, their intentions. But quiet people remove that comfort. You don't know what they're thinking. And your brain starts filling the silence with assumptions. That's why silence can feel powerful, even dangerous. But the darkest part, most quiet people weren't born that way. Something changed them. Maybe they opened up once, and got ignored. Maybe they trusted people, and got betrayed. Maybe they realized nobody actually listened. People only waited for their turn to speak. So slowly, they stopped explaining themselves. And your brain doesn't notice this transformation immediately. At first, they just seem calm, then distant, then emotionally unreadable. But hidden underneath that silence, there's usually disappointment. Because people who talk less often think more. They replay conversations in their head. They notice tiny changes in behavior. Energy shifts, fake enthusiasm, forced laughter, things most people completely miss. And this is where the psychology gets dangerous. The quieter someone becomes, the more observant they usually are. That's why quiet people often scare manipulative people. Because manipulators survive through emotional reactions. Attention, validation, control. But silence interrupts that control. No reaction, no emotional access, no weakness to study. And suddenly the manipulator feels exposed instead. That's why some people become weirdly uncomfortable around quiet people. They start over-explaining themselves, talking too much, trying to fill the silence. Because silence creates pressure, especially in modern life. Look at social media. Everybody is performing, posting, explaining, proving they're happy, proving they matter. But the person who disappears quietly, the one who stops posting, stops arguing, stops chasing attention, they become impossible to read. And humans are obsessed with what they can't read. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Not every quiet person is emotionally strong. Some are exhausted. They got tired of fake friendships, one-sided conversations, feeling emotionally invisible. So they stopped giving people access to their mind. And after enough disappointment, silence stops feeling lonely. It starts feeling peaceful. That's why some of the quietest people in your life are actually the ones feeling the most. They just learned that expressing everything doesn't guarantee being understood. And maybe that's the darkest human truth of all. The people who understand humans the best usually stopped talking a long time ago.